How's it going, folks? I'm Cody Campbell with High Ground Gaming. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the HyperX Cirro Buds Pro. I'm going to start by walking you through the specs, then I'm going to open it up, let you take a look at what comes inside. After that, we'll go to the review portion where I'll give you my thoughts on it, and then we'll go to High Ground Gaming's final score. Stick around. So the Cirro Buds are a set of wireless gaming earbuds. They connect via Bluetooth 5.2. They don't have a 2.4G mode like HyperX's other earbuds, the MixBuds, but they do have a game mode. According to HyperX, this enables a low latency 90 millisecond connection. They also have noise canceling, which is pretty cool. And for those that don't like noise canceling, they also have an ambient sound mode, so that can turn the noise canceling functionality off. They have a frequency response of 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz. They come with an omnidirectional microphone, so you can chat with other gamers, and they promise up to 35 hours of battery life. Now, that's not all on the earbuds, though. That's 7 hours of battery life in the earbuds, and then 28 hours of battery life in the case. So you will have to take them off and recharge them to get another 7 hours after 7 hours of use. That's about it for the specs, though. Let's open it up. So we've got some paperwork right up front here. Then it looks like we've got the case. And in this little back compartment, we've got a USB Type-A to USB Type-C charging cable. Case itself is pretty lightweight, pretty sleek. It's just got this all black design to it, pretty straightforward, HyperX logo on the top. Flips open magnetically. And then on the inside, we've got the earbuds themselves. Got gold contacts for charging on the back. It looks like there might be a little light indicator right there. And then this is not a button, so I'm assuming these are tap controls. So these are probably sensors. You tap once to pause, twice to turn the volume up, something like that. We'll look more at the instructions for that later. That's about all I can tell just by looking at these guys, though. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook them up to my PC, play some games, and we'll be right back with the review section. Don't go anywhere. So now I've spent some time with the HyperX Cirro Buds, and I'm ready to talk about them. But first, like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, I'm gonna start off like I usually do by talking about the build quality on these. And I just wanna say the design is pretty stylish. It doesn't have that arm coming off the end like the Cloud MixBuds do. It's just a more minimalistic, simple design. They look like skull candies or pretty much any other wireless earbuds that you'd probably find on Amazon. They're actually pretty comfortable as well. One thing that I missed during the unboxing section is that there were actually 2 extra sets of ear tips kind of tucked away in the cardboard there that I didn't notice. I was perfectly comfortable with the ones that were pre-attached, but there's a smaller set and a larger set for people who want them. As I noted before, they are controlled via touch sensors on the outside. It is very easy to accidentally touch these when you're handling them, but generally they work pretty well and I didn't have any issues with that. Now let's move on to sound quality. Now these sound pretty good right out of the box. I found that they were a little bit on the quiet side. I had to turn the volume up pretty loud to get it in the range that I like. That's not terrible though, because there was enough headroom there that it could go louder than I was comfortable with for me, so I didn't really find an issue with it. If you like listening to music very, very, very loud, then that might be a problem that you could encounter with these, but I think it's okay for most people. Overall, I thought that they were pretty good in terms of the levels. The bass is nice and punchy, but it doesn't sound super muddled. The high and mid-range are both very sharp and clear. Kind of the key feature of these is the noise canceling, and that works pretty good. My wife managed to sneak up on me and startle me a couple times while I was testing it. I could hear a little bit of ambient noise through it. It's not 100% noise proof, but it did diminish outside noises by enough that it didn't really bother me. There's also an ambient sound mode for these though, so if you don't want the noise canceling, you can turn it off and you'll be able to hear sounds from outside the earbuds. One sort of caveat to these, as opposed to the Cloud Mix Buds, HyperX's other set of gaming earbuds, is that those earbuds could take advantage of the Ingenuity software. And that meant that they had access to things like virtual surround sound and an equalizer that you could actually use to adjust the levels. This does not have that, so you cannot adjust the levels on these at all, and there's no virtual surround sound. So that is something to keep in mind. Now let's talk about the wireless connectivity for these. So these connect via Bluetooth 5.2. It's one of the faster forms of Bluetooth, but it is still ultimately Bluetooth. And that means that there's going to be a little bit of latency. To make up for that, they introduced a low latency mode, which gets the latency down to about 90 milliseconds. For reference, on average, Bluetooth is right around 200 milliseconds, which is enough time for the human ear to perceive a difference, a latency between when a sound should be occurring on screen and when you actually hear it. It's a pretty tight difference, but in competitive games, that tight difference can be important. That said, 2.4G connectivity, which is the low latency mode that a lot of higher end models use, is about 30 to 40 milliseconds. There is a range in all of these. They're not exact precise measurements, but that is very, very fast. So 90 milliseconds is sort of a middle ground. It's a lot faster than standard Bluetooth, but it's not quite as fast as 2.4G. For my money, while I was testing them, I couldn't really tell a difference. I played some Cyberpunk 2077, and all the voices sounded succinct, the gunshots sounded immediate, and I didn't really encounter any issues. I also tested the range to see about how far I could get away from my PC before they started disconnecting, and I found it to be around 15 to 20 feet, and that's okay. See, it's good for if you're sitting in a chair in front of your computer and gaming. Obviously, you're not going to have any connectivity drops there. It was solid connection the whole time. If you're in a living room and you're sitting 10 feet away, you're probably still fine. You're not really going to get any connectivity disruptions. But if you're on Discord and you want to be able to walk to the kitchen to get yourself a drink and still be able to chat with your friends, you're probably going to have the connection drop. That's not a huge deal, but if that's something that's a deal breaker for you, it's something to keep in mind. Now here's a quick clip where I tested out the mic quality. So now you're listening to the Cirro Buds microphone. They sound pretty decent, but I'm not super surprised by that. I already tested the HyperX Cloud Mix Buds, and they had a similar microphone setup, and I was surprised by how good those sounded. So I was kind of expecting a similar level of quality in these, and I'm pleased to say that's exactly what they have. There are a couple of issues with the way this microphone is set up. First of all, it's an omnidirectional microphone as opposed to a cardioid microphone. That means that it's going to be picking up audio from all directions, not just the direction of the speaker. There's a couple problems with that. First of all, any ambient audio from the room, other people talking, sounds from a television or fans or air conditioning, all that stuff is going to get picked up. So the people you're talking to are probably going to hear a lot of the noise from the room around you. The other issue is, even if you are isolated in your own little space and there isn't a lot of noise, your own voice is going to reverberate off the walls, and it's going to pick up on that, which is going to make it sound a little more echoey, as you might notice. That said, the sensitivity on these is dialed in pretty great. This is me speaking very, very softly, and I feel like it's very clear. You can still hear everything that I'm saying. And this is me speaking very loudly. I noticed it does peak a bit, but not too bad. It's still pretty clear what I'm saying. So yeah, overall, I think they're pretty good. So yeah, not perfect, but pretty good for a set of earbuds. That's about it for the specs though. Let's get down to the verdict. So the HyperX Cirro Buds MSRP at $79.99. That's about half the price of the Cloud Mix Buds, but it is a little bit more expensive than some of the other options out there. It's cheaper than the MSRP for the Razer Hammerhead buds, but right now I found them on sale for about 40 bucks. You can get those for about half the price that you can get these, and they have a lot of the same features. The only major feature that these have that those do not is the noise canceling. So if the noise canceling is a make or break feature for you, then these will probably be worth it. Otherwise, it's going to be more of a toss-up. It's not that these are priced unreasonably, and they'll probably go down in price once they've been on the market for a little bit. It's just that you will be able to get another set of gaming earbuds with almost an identical feature set for half the price right now, so it kind of makes these a little bit hard to sell. That said, we did end up giving them a 3.8 out of 5. We think they're an incredibly well-constructed set of earbuds. We wish there was a little bit more functionality. I wish that you had an equalizer, for instance, so that you could adjust the audio settings and stuff like that. Overall, for the quality that you get, the price isn't unreasonable. It's just that there are cheaper options out there right now. Go ahead and drop down into the comments and let us know what you think. Do you think the noise canceling is enough to merit the extra dollars, or do you think that maybe these need to go down in price a little bit before you're ready to commit? While you're at it, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. We have a lot more content coming real soon, and we'd hate for you to miss any of it. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Happy gaming.